The thinking is contagious. Watching financial networks as I do every day, and I'm hearing about these the hearings into GameStop and uh, Congress grilling these people. And one theme that I keep hearing is it fair? Is Wall Street does the retail individual investor, does he or she get treated any different than the Wall Street bigwig? And of course they do. Why wouldn't they? Because the Wall Street bigwig is a professional. That's what they do for a living. The advantages that they have in their day-to-day operation has nothing to do with the fact that they have a privileged situation over the individual investor. No. It is basic economic capitalist opportunity driven by supply and demand. The Wall Street investor, the Wall Street money manager, moves huge amounts of money through equities, through bonds. The reason that they have access to those huge amounts is because people trust them because they are professionals. They have 20, 30 years of track record, of success. And they are entrusted with investing. And when you take to a table, it's anything, any business, I don't care what you do. You go to a guy who cuts lawns, a person who grooms dogs, a person who sells shoes, a person that, whatever you want. I don't care what business it is. And you walk in there and you tell them that you have an order for $100 or you have an order for $100,000, and you tell me what order is going to go first. And it has nothing to do with privilege. It has nothing to do with unfairness. It has nothing to do with lack of equality. It has nothing to do with race, gender, religion, creed, sexual orientation, where you were born, when you get up in the morning, when you don't. What does it have to do when you get up in the morning? Take that back. It has nothing to do with the factors that people want to blame and want to use as a weapon in order to get people to vote for them. They tell them all these things that are happening, how unfair they are, and that they're going to solve it for them. Well, guess what? They haven't solved it up till now. The Democrats and the liberals and the left and the Republicans and the conservatives and the right have run this country since George Washington, okay? And they have always been in charge of the government of this country. It's been the politicians, okay? What's happened in this country over the last 40 or 50 years that's different from before is that today it's a business. Government is a business. Starting with government is unionized. The unions knew that they could not continue to destroy private business because every time they got involved as a union in private business, they basically drove that business bankrupt. So they said, where can we unionize that they'll never run out of money? I said, we got it, the government. The government never runs out of money. Whenever they need money, they just tax more and take more. And that's so let's go unionize the government. Since the government has been unionized, since the effort to unionize the government has come down the pike, that's when you have run into your biggest problems with government, legislation, and the corruption in government. When the dollars entered government, when the corruption entered government. And that's what we're living through right now. No more corrupt organizations have ever. This is like a mafia. This is like a mob. When you consider the Clinton administration, the Bush administration, when you consider definitely the Obama was like the Capone, the Capones. Well, maybe the Clintons were the Capones. One of those two were the Capones. But when you consider those criminal organizations. And now, of course, you have the criminal organization that's being led by the Trojan horse, the wax figure that is Joe Biden, as the front for Kamala. And don't tell me that it's not, because all his actions, his history as a politician, Joe Biden, has been moderate, and everything that he has done up to this day has been far left. So we know what tail is wagging what dog. And that cannot be argued. This is not Joe Biden's call. This is not Joe Biden's government. This is not Joe Biden's administration. And the results are obvious that it's not. This is the far left. This is the praying mantis who's just waiting to swoop in and become president. This is AOC. This is Elizabeth Warren. This is Bernie. This is all of them, okay? Waiting to swoop in. And this is a far left liberal agenda. Then I hear Janet Yellen on the TV saying how there's not ever too much money that we can throw at this problem. Is she insane? This woman is a total incompetent buffoon. What she is doing is going to destroy this economy, is going to ruin the value of the US dollar, and is going to undermine all that this country has stood for with her effort to throw money at a problem. Money that's not hers, money that doesn't exist, money that's printed out of thin air. We are going down that path. And Janet Yellen is barking up that tree saying, oh no, we need to make sure that the people that are scarred, that's her word, are receive money to get through this terrible pandemic. And we are striving for full employment in a year to get back, listen to this, to get back to the levels of February of 2020. Who was president then? Donald Trump. All of a sudden, the goal is to get back to where Trump had us. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting, it really is. We are all being played. Some of us see it, some of us don't. But we're all being duped, we're all being played, and we're all being fed a lie in hopes that we believe it long enough for the crooks to make off with what's left. They want to legalize 11 million undocumented people, give them a path to citizenship so they can vote for them. They want to continue handing out checks, even though there's hundreds of billions of dollars of the prior stimulus checks, stimulus money, that has not even been used yet. And they're talking about a $3 trillion infrastructure package after this. This is socialism. Forget socialism. This is communism. This is communism. This is taking the money that's supplied the majority of by the top 10% wage earners and doling it out, knowing full well that the people that they hand it out to will eventually just burn through it and turn it back to its origins. And those origins are corporate America. And that's why Obama Biden was the biggest boon ever for the corporate American structure. That's why when Obama came in after the economic catastrophe in 2008, and he promised that all these heads were going to roll because of the scams and the subprime mortgage scandals and all the money that had been burned through government money, that heads were going to roll, people were going to be indicted, people were going to go to jail. Nobody went to jail. Nobody was indicted because Obama was there to cover for them. And Joe Biden was there to cover for them. And Joe Biden is there covering for them now. Okay, he's doing the bidding of the left. And they will deliver to their henchmen, to the corporate infrastructure of this world, from big tech all the way to the industrialized giants. They will deliver the keys to the means of production of the United States of America to their master. And all this for their personal gain of power, glory, and fame. Like Obama, who they told, we'll make you president, but you will do what we tell you. And this was a guy who knew that he couldn't even be president of the Glee Club, let alone the president of the United States. He said, tell me what I have to do. Where do I sign up? Same thing with Joe Biden. 50 years in government, never did anything, never accomplished anything. They told him, we'll make you president, but you will do what we tell you. He said, where do I sign up? Why? It's no coincidence. It's no coincidence that this is what happened. That's how Bill Clinton got to be president of the United States. The long line of Democrats have come from the ashes, from nothing, from being basically penniless, and come out of the White House as billionaires, billionaires in the making. Biden did not go in penniless because he started reaping the benefits of the Obama corruption and his corruption during his vice presidency. So he went in well lined with his corrupt dollars. But he's only going to add to it and come out a billionaire. And his son will be a billionaire and a whole bunch of them. And we will have funded that. We will continue to fund it. It is a fraud what's going on out there. They are twisting the truth in order to cover their ineptitude and not ineptitude. They're twisting the truth to cover their corruption. It's not even ineptitude. They are pros at what they do. Look at Cuomo all of a sudden. They're even turning on him because they know he went too far. He's been caught, okay? Newsom went too far. He's been caught. Where's Lori Lightfoot been recently after saying the schools had to open? Huh? What about the defund police in Seattle thing? How did that go over? How did that go over in New York? Not too well. Everybody's leaving these towns. Everybody's leaving these cities. This is exactly what's going on, and that's why the third party is critical. We must have a third party. We must win the midterms via a third party candidate and candidates of third party. And no doubt the 2024 election must be won by the third party candidate. It's critical that Donald Trump create the third party and Donald Trump endorse the candidate of the third party and Donald Trump campaign for the candidate of the third party. Donald Trump will deliver in 2024 the first president that this country has that is not part of the swamp, that was not birthed in the swamp. He will deliver the first president that was not birthed. Well, no, Donald Trump was the first president not birthed in the swamp. But from an election purpose that doesn't, the first president elected that is not from the swamp and is not affiliated with one of the major parties. That, I correct my statement. That is what Donald Trump will deliver in 2024 if we are there to support it. We cannot give up 75 million people. Don't buy the products of those who are against us. Don't support the infrastructure of those that are against us. Don't go to theme parks of those that are against us. Don't buy stocks of those that are against us. Don't buy the products of those that are against us. We need to hit them in the pocketbook, and we need 2024 to be a huge statement. Forget about all these lies that they're feeding us about equality and the lack thereof. We've already been through that, and it is 100% a lie. This is the land of equality, the land of freedom, and the land of opportunity for those who decide to seize it, okay? And don't count on someone else to resolve their problems. That is all there. The solution is all there. It's going to take a long time. It's going to be hard work. Some people are going to fall by the wayside. They will need our help, and we will help those that are just seriously in pursuit of those opportunities, of those freedoms, of those liberties, and of the financial success. Yes, we will help those that are trying and striving and working towards it, who fall and stub their toe and have nowhere to turn. Yes, but when you hear a moron like AOC say, and she's not a moron, she's a smart person actually, but she's ignorant, and she's self-serving and ignorant on many topics. But when you hear her say that white people already have a student loan forgiveness program, it's called Their Parents, Too bad, isn't it? Too bad, because that's why we, the parents, worked our asses off, okay? And we didn't do it illegally, okay? For your premise, AOC, to be true, every white person who has any kind of wealth behind them has to be a crook in order for your premises to ever fly. No, this is not white privilege. This is not advantage. This is not, no, this is bust your ass. Something that you're not familiar with, okay? Because your only time that you've been able to live independent as a middle class citizen has been when you've been on the dole of the government teat. Period. Okay? Period. That's the only time. You have never accomplished or stood up or achieved anything on your own other than to get elected into office so that you can hook up to the government teat. Period. Same thing with Bernie. Okay? Writing books and stories about masturbation is what he was famous for before he became a politician. And you can look that up. Kamala Harris, check out her history with the California African-American businessman, multi-billionaire or millionaire, at least multi-millionaire, billionaire, how she worked, and I use the word work loosely, to the top. Check her out. Check all of them out, and you'll see. We need the third party. We will have the third party, and we will not give up until we have the third party. And Donald Trump is back, and Donald Trump will be back, and Donald Trump cannot be stopped by the criminals that live and hide in the swamp. The days of the swamp are over. They had a little reprieve now. They saw what's coming. That's what caused this mess that we're in now, was this desperate, it's like an animal that's in a cornered, a wounded animal that's been cornered. They'll do whatever it takes. And that's what the Democrats did, whatever it took. And some of the Republicans joined in to try to save the swamp. But nothing will save this injured animal. Nothing will save this swamp. Donald Trump is alive and well. And in 2024 is the end of the swamp. You can bet on that. Thanks.